Roll Tide, baby. Here we go.
And we say, what's going on, everybody? Christian Ballard, Ballard Sports Media, coming at you with a video today using StreamYard to record, of course. You can use StreamYard, not sponsored by it, but I do recommend it for anyone out there that's like looking for a good platform or service to use for videos. StreamYard works pretty well. Alabama's Deontae Lawson embracing a new era with Coach Kalen DeBoer, who comes in from Washington. Of course, we all know his name by now. The latest for the Crimson Tide in 2024. This from AL.com, put out by Nick Alvarez 7 hours ago, a 2-minute read. We'll put the link in the description of the video where you can go read the article yourself. But want to look at this article today. Alabama football's Deontae Lawson on wearing number 0, expectations and a new beginning. So he previously wore number 32. From my understanding, he is going to try to change his number to number 0. And I guess in this article, he kind of explained that a little bit, but not too much, because all they mentioned in the article was Lawson will be the first player to wear number 0 after changing from 32, a decision that links back to his choice to return to Tuscaloosa after Nick Saban's retirement. Now, I don't care what number any player really wears. I've heard people say number 0 should be outlawed in college football, and I've heard people say, does it really matter? No, it doesn't matter. So the player's jersey number does not matter, at least in my book. Some players wear it for significance, to represent family, or whatever it might be. It might matter to them. Just play the game. Honestly, just play the game. So we'll skip that part of this article. But getting into this article, Alabama football's Deontae Lawson, expectations, new beginning, a fresh start for the Alabama Crimson Tide. And, it goes on to talk a little bit about Tim Smith, who's a defensive end for Alabama this year. It talks about, how he views himself and the defensive line holding up double teams to help the Crimson Tide linebackers fly down to the line of scrimmage for, as Smith put it on Tuesday, a TFL for all of us, tackle for loss for all of us. And it goes on to talk more about Tim Smith. Here's the thing. Deontae Lawson, and they've also put out some practice footage. I mean, they're in spring practice and camp and all that. And, Alabama's getting back to work. The boys are back at it. The boys are back in town for the Kalen DeBoer era. Deontae Lawson had this to say this week. He said, "My biggest decision for coming back is just competing for a national championship and just bettering myself. With the number, it's a new era. It's a new beginning for myself, and that's how I look at it. I'm going to just be myself," said Deontae Lawson. So it's a new era. It's 0. It's a fresh start. Then it goes on to talk about what new defensive coordinator Kane Womack had to say. He was a former South Alabama coach, and he noticed Deontae Lawson's presence as soon as he got into the building, according to what I read from this article, what I've heard, based on everything I've researched on what the latest news in Alabama is for the football team. And Kane Womack has said that there's like this, there's like this fire inside of Deontae Lawson. There's this energy, there's this eagerness, this urge to go out and dominate on the field, right? So Kane Womack had this to say, according to Nick Alvarez, the article he put out. He said, Kane Womack said, "I'm trying to figure out how much I want to communicate to the on-field player and how much feedback does he want in between plays. What communication is positive, what is not, and then certainly it cuts off at 15 seconds. So you'll have all the same things you've done in the past. Those are things that we're seeing what sticks on the wall right now, and we'll figure that out. So he's trying to figure out he wants to communicate on the field with these guys. He wants there to be constant communication, everyone on the same page. And that's what you want to hear from a defensive coordinator. That's what you want to hear from these guys. That's what you want for your players. I would say this, getting to Ballard's side of things here, the step away from the article. I think there was really good communication with Kevin Steele last year for Deontae Lawson, for Dallas Turner, who's going to go pro, Kool-Aid McKinstry, who's going pro. Deontae Lawson is that leader for the defense this year, at least the way I view it. Some other guys come back too, but there was really good communication, I think, with Kevin Steele. Now, of course, Kevin Steele was not let go. He actually retired from football and from coaching on his own terms. Shortly thereafter, Nick Saban retired from coaching. So there's this sense and this presence for Alabama to win. There's a winning mentality under Kalen DeBoer. And also, you got to give credit where it's due to the new defensive coordinator, Kane Womack. So it's really you just get this feeling that this is going to be a special type of year for Alabama's defense. I'm not going to say it's going to be the best in the country. It's not going to be Georgia. It's not going to be really, we got to look into. I think Ohio State might have a good defense. Penn State's always got a good defense. Michigan's still going to be pretty good. We'll see. But I still think it could be special enough to where, for Alabama's sake, forget being a national, have your eye on Alabama this year. Forget nationally. Let's talk about Alabama specifically. Let's talk about these players individually. Let's talk about what they want to accomplish as a unit this year. They probably do want to go win a championship. And Deontae Lawson made that very clear this week, and Kalen DeBoer has made it very clear he wants to keep the winning culture in Tuscaloosa. He wants to do all of that. So, I look at this and I say that there's a winning mentality, but there's also this brotherhood and this bond that just seems unbreakable this year for these guys, starting really with Deontae Lawson. So I would say that Jeremiah Alexander, Jahad Campbell, these guys that he's going to be paired up with, most likely, he can be that leader for those young guys. Especially, I would look at Jeremiah Alexander, who was highly recruited at a high school just last year. And, it's really, it's going to be special. There's no Will Anderson. Dallas Turner's going pro. Kool-Aid left. So Caleb Downs transferred to Ohio State. So, of course, a guy from last year that didn't really get talked up much, that didn't get into the spotlight at the level that maybe he expected to get at, he's going to steal the spotlight this year for the Alabama Crimson Tide defense. Deontae Lawson is going to be that dude. He's going to be in the spotlight. He's going to be the guy to watch. And he's excited. He's pumped up. He's ready to go. He's embracing the new era, as you see by the title of this video. Kalen DeBoer, the head coach of the Alabama Crimson Tide, seems like he knows what he's doing, especially with this unit of defense in Tuscaloosa. But I got to hear from you guys in the comments. What do you expect for Alabama's defense this year? We'll keep it rolling. Roll Tide. We'll keep it rolling throughout the spring with different teams. Hopefully we find time to go live for spring games next month in April when they kick up, and we'll definitely try to see what we can do for A-Day, especially the week of, just leading up to it and everything. We'll talk about what we're hearing, what we're seeing, what the experts are talking about. Maybe I get into some interviews with some people. We'll see. see if we could talk to some experts, and just really want to get back into talking some college football with all of you on here. But more than just like, I want to step outside of the team I want to present the news. I want to talk about what's going on. I want to give my opinions. I also, man of the people, want to hear from you guys in the comments. What do you think about Alabama's defense this year? On a scale from 1 to 10, how would you rate it? Is it elite? Is it down at the bottom? Is it going to be worse than we think? Is it going to, like, what do you expect from Alabama? What do you think is going to happen? What do you want to happen? I got to hear from you guys. A new era. Kalen DeBoer taking over in Tuscaloosa. Nick Saban hung it up in January. Love and appreciate him and what he's done for college football. It's Kalen DeBoer's time, and it's Deontae Lawson's time on the defensive side of the ball. Love you guys. Jesus loves you. God bless. And as always, from an Alabama fan, Roll Tide. Ballard Sports Media, checking out. I love y'all. Peace.